Hello YouTube, this is Divine with Poetry. Um, Basically this is probably going to be my last video in regards to race for a while. I feel like that I'm not going to just focus on one thing. I want to focus on many other things, such as I don't believe in domestic violence and child abuse, so I might be working on videos in regards to those things as well. This video will be called Anti-Racism, Why I Am Promoting Loving Acceptance. As from former videos, I have admitted that I am biracial, that I have two sets of cultures, which is Native American and African American. In my research, I see that both were stripped of their culture and language, both were enslaved, and many were killed. These two are my history. Have I ever blamed any of my failures on the history of my ancestry and the things that happened to them? No. Have I ever placed blame on the racial profiling that I've suffered in my life? No, I have not. And you may ask why I even ask these questions and answer no to both. It's because I feel that I am in control of how I react to situations in my life. I mean, I don't let what other people do to me or say to me control, the things that I choose to do for myself. Um, for example, when I was told that I wouldn't amount to anything, I strived harder to succeed. When people stereotyped me because of my skin color, I loved myself harder and became the best person I personally could be. I used their negativity as a step on the ladder of my own success. Do not let racist naysayers, whether they are white or black, give you an excuse for your failures. I feel like you should use it to progress and grow. Racism is shallow and ignorant, whether it comes from a black mouth or white mouth, which leads me to racism as black people. I've been told on one of my videos that black women support the white supremacy by dating white men or outside of their race. That we support the white supremacy by befriending white people. That is the most ignorant statement in the century in my estimation. Let me do some simple comparison here, and I want to see what you think about it. This comes from a white supremacist named David Duke. I do not call myself a white supremacist. I am a civil rights activist concerned about European American rights. Now, as we know, Malcolm X at one point was actually a black supremacist. He one time quoted, "I am not a racist. I am against every form of racism and segregation, every form of discrimination. I believe in human beings and that all human beings should be respected as such, regardless of their color." Of course, we all know that Malcolm X had experienced a form of enlightenment, but you get my drift. Um, the supremacies, both black and white, were kind of like wolves in sheep's clothing. They appear to want to bring peace, but in reality, they're trying to fight hate with hate, and really just dragging everybody else in it with them. The black and white supremacies also have the exact identical agenda to divide our races and promote hate. Now, the race by they're actually harming their race by making them fight against each other. Both sides end up with casualties, and they both lose sight of what's really important. White supremacy is working on open-minded whites who have no issue with black people. And the same for black supremacy, trying to use our ancestors' history to create hate for the other race. The sad part is hate didn't bring us the peace that we have. It was actually love and friendship. And I know many people do not agree with me because they would then have to accept that some of the love came from intelligent and open-minded white people with the support of black peace advocates. Um, I'm gonna, just a short story. Um, when I was going to school, in high school, um, the races, they they had issues. A lot of times, like my friends, me and my friends, I hung around more or less a lot of black people, and they had a way of bullying the white kids. It's always assumed that black kids are a little bit stronger than white kids. That's not probably really true in physical estimation, but in that case, this is what was believed. The stronger white kids would kind of separate from us, and sometimes there would be a fight against whites and blacks. Hispanics had their own little group of people, so sometimes, it would be somewhat of racial fights in school. Um, and if you looked at it, the people that actually were picked on the most were the ones that befriend each other. If a black girl or boy hung out with a white person, they were called Uncle Tom sellouts or trying to act white. And if a white boy or girl tried to hang out with a black person, they were told that they were trying to act black. People in general are hateful in nature. I hate to say it like that, but everybody has stereotypes. Everybody has generalizations. And people are fearful. Whatever people are fearful of, they tend to hate. So that's really. I feel like that's natural. You have to become wiser people to change that. Hate is colorblind, and it reaches all. It reaches whites, it reaches blacks. It reaches all races. It's not just a white against black thing. There's plenty of black people who have a bunch to say about other races as well. Um, Love is generally despised. Only enlightened people are willing to see how ridiculous, arrogant, destructive, and ignorant it is to hate over such nonsense as the pigmentation of skin. So I'm going to say that black supremacists and white supremacists really need to give it a rest. We, the new generation, are trying to do away with the racism. We are trying to think outside of the box. On both sides, we are promoting love within both whites and blacks. We are growing in leaps and bounds, and there's already more of us than there are of you. We're just not speaking out very loudly. I have great friends and acquaintances that are black, white, and Hispanic, and I dare not to judge them by the color of their skin. You can call me the miseducated black woman. I personally do not care about that. All races, blacks and whites, need to get a life and stop blaming everyone for their failures, and also get up and do something constructive for the race, and I mean the human race, instead of trying to disable them all with hate and excuses. I hope this gives you a little insight to my agenda as an activist for peace. Please comment, rate, subscribe, and thank you for watching my video.